I've always been a new route climber. It's just the adventure element of that, of going into the unknown, has always been really enjoyable for me. And just seeing, grabbing holds no one's ever grabbed and making it work and not knowing whether it works or not. Yeah, I have been coming to the City Rock since, I believe, 1978. And back then there was no bolts hardly at all. It was all ground up gear climbing. And then as the 80s rolled along, sport climbing started coming in, and the crew here at City, small crew, were pretty early adopters with sport climbing. But eventually these routes get old. The hardware is outdated. The early hardware we used was just junk, is considered junk now, and dangerous. And so some of the re-bolting was pretty obvious. It's like, one particular route has those taper bolts, for example, and nobody really wants to hang their life on a taper bolt. We're out here at Stripe Rock at City of Rocks, and we are working on re-bolting a route called Curl Shoes that was originally put up in 1989. Curl Shoes is a super popular route. It's 3 pitches long. You get way off the deck. The fellow that did this route, he kind of took the sport climbing to its next logical thing of very well protected routes that didn't have any element that, you've got to make this move or you're going to get hurt. In the old days we said over bolted, but time has shown that his very well bolted routes are the most popular routes. So this one, we're at, 34 years now. It just gets a lot of traffic, and it's just really time to upgrade it with some safe hardware, before the hardware gets so bad that, the last thing we want is an accident, a failure of hardware.
I think one thing that's really cool is Dave Bingham, being like a prolific developer here, being the guidebook author, and being willing to come out and he'll say fix my mistakes and stuff like that. It's pretty funny, but he really has put a lot of effort. He's into his 60s and he's still out here jugging along. He's faster than me, getting stuff done. He's he's an animal. So I really want to put a big shout out to Dave, because he is crushing it at the bolt replacement and just putting in his time. He's done so much for this area, and it's cool to spend time with him and just pick his brain on what this place was like back in the day. It's so interesting to me. It's just freaking cool that he's actually out here and replacing bolts on not only his routes, but on other people's routes too. Because you don't see many other developers doing that. Without him, it would not be what it is today. And a lot of us have him to thank for the climbing that we have here and the scene that we have here.
I just enjoy the process. I enjoy getting up off the ground and helping out a little bit. It needs to get done. It's an obvious thing that needs to get done. And after building so many routes, I have sort of the comfort level of working on the cliff faces and don't mind the labor part of it. So it's satisfying in its own way.